عبد الله بن عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنهما قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. The hadith tonight in collection of Imam Muslim narrated to us by Abdullah ibn Umar. And the theme for the next week or two will be just talking about Bir al-Walidain before we start preparing for Ramadan, inshallah, which is very close, very near. It's only not too far from now. But I've never actually covered Bir al-Walidain before, and I think it's an important topic to cover for all of us. Please, when you listen to these ahadith, that you think of yourself as the person who's going to perform this action rather than the person who's going to receive it. Just for your own sake. I often don't talk about certain topics because I can't guarantee that the person listening to me is going to use it appropriately. Never in Islam should you listen to something and put yourself on the receiving side of it. You always listen to what you're being said and you put yourself on the contributing side of it. So when we talk about Bir al-Walidain, if you're a father, you're a mother, don't really think about what your kids should be doing for you, but think what you should be doing for your parents, even if they passed away, because that's the adab of learning, the deen, and listening to anything that's being talked about in the name of Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala. And this is a hadith that's very famous, and it's a reason why I'm narrating for you specifically, because it talks about an aspect of bir that I think is helpful. He said, alayhi salatu wasalam, "Inna min abarri al-birri an yasil al-rajulu ahla widdi abihi ba'da an yuwalli." So he said, alayhi salatu wasalam, "Inna min abarri al-birr," meaning one of the most virtuous of virtuous actions. Like al-birr, which is the best of yourself, like in terms of what you do. You have different degrees of quality of actions. Bir is when you're putting yourself, it's your best, it's the best you got. So abarri al-birr, the highest level of the best that you've got. So inna min abarri al-birr, meaning indeed amongst the most virtuous of all virtuous actions in terms of what people do. An yasil al-rajul, for the person to perform sila. Sila here is the idea of connecting severed relationships or continuing ongoing relationships of service and support. Ahla widdi abihi ba'da an yuwalli. The people whom his father or his parents loved after they died. Ba'da an yuwalli. After the father turns his back and goes into the grave. So one of the most virtuous actions of bir that we have in our deen is for a person to care for the people his father loved after his father died. So people come and ask, how do I perform bir? My parents are dead. There's a lot of ways for you to perform bir to your parents after they die. This is one of the things the Prophet ﷺ suggested. Did your father, your mother not love anyone? Did they not love anyone in their lives? Okay, who is it that they love? Take care of them. Now, tell me anyone whom your father and mother loves more than their own children. All right? I want you to think. Tell me anyone that your father or mother loves more than their own children, as in your siblings. So, before you take this hadith and think about some friend your dad knew back in 1965 and you met at some point in a virtual meeting and your dad said nice things about, and you go overseas to find this person and take a picture and show him and write on the top of the picture on Facebook, "Inna min abarri al-birri," and you haven't spoken to your sister in a year. Before you do that, and it's your sister, he loved your sister way more. Your father and your mother, they loved your siblings way more than they loved this guy. So when you think this hadith, you think of it and prioritize it appropriately. Your siblings, they will love them more for sure. So, and I say this because I know of a lot of people in their 50s and 60s who very, very casually will sit back and talk about virtuousness in Islam, and they haven't spoken to their siblings in a decade, and they feel nothing wrong with that at all. They don't feel bothered by it at all. They don't feel that they should be trying at least to give proper salams, to ask about how they're doing, to try and open the door. They don't feel any obligation to doing this. And it tells me again that we don't know the priorities of our deen. Like we're not sticking to the list, to the basic list. But we'll take care of a friend that or a neighbor or someone. No. So min abarri al-birr. If you want to really be bar bi ahlak, if you really want to be virtuous towards your parents in your life and then after they passed away, you still have the opportunity to do this by saying, who is it that they loved? Take care of them. Be kind to them. Continue to have that good relationship. And they will, and that's bir to them. So don't ever say, well, I can't because my parents passed away. You can. You for sure can. And if you're like, I don't have siblings, Sheikh, gotcha. Do you have kids? There you go. I can tell you that your parents will love your kids more than they love anyone else on this planet. They will care for your kids. They love their grandchildren. So if you care for this, then you'll take care of them. and you'll put your effort and your energy and your focus in them. But that's hard. So we prefer the guy that we met back for a moment that and the pictures is a nice way to get likes. So be careful about this, because the priority in our deen is very simple. And the Prophet ﷺ, this beautiful hadith, very majestically explained. He just said it, and there's no other way to understand it aside from the way I explained it to you, because he knows exactly how to put it, alayhi salatu wasalam. And may Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala make us barreen بآبائنا وأمهاتنا اللهم آمين. يروي الإمام مسلم في صحيحه عن عبد الله بن عمر بن الخطاب رضي الله عنهما قال قال النبي صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم إن من أبر البر أن يصل الرجل أهل ود أبيه بعد أن يولي. صدق رسول الله صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. سبحانك وبحمدك أشهد أن لا إله إلا أنت أستغفرك وأتوب إليك. وصلى الله وسلم وبارك وعظم على نبينا وحبيبنا وقرة أعيننا